to welcome you to the first Thursday Thought. This will be an ongoing series on the website where I'll touch on everything from the boring to the interesting to the important to the inconsequential. This first thought comes to me from browsing on the CIA World Factbook website, and on it they use the prevalence of contraceptives among people of a nation to help determine that nation's development and women's empowerment. And so I thought, what kind of world we become where we judge the success of a person or of a people based on their ability to prevent reproduction. I mean, it pretty much goes against every other living species in the world. But that's where humanity is right now, and that's what Thursday Thought is about. If you happen to be of Judeo-Christian faith, you may know that the first words God said to man was be fertile and multiply. The fact that those were the first words that God decided to say to man, I think make them pretty important. And whenever you have now this more relativism of whatever is easy for me and whatever, people now kind of twist natural law to suit themselves, and it's totally against what God intended. What you have now is like people will only multiply if it's easy, or if they have the money, or if it's not too inconvenient. And well, that's just not the way it was supposed to be. The pleasure that comes with sex is supposed to be God's gift to man for partaking in His plan to populate the world. But instead, people just take the pleasure from sex and don't actually populate the world. They end up perverting sex, and you have a culture now of instant gratification. And it just speaks to humanity that that's what the CIA uses for their development and women's empowerment, and it's accurate because that's the way it is right now. I mean, if you look at countries like Norway and Great Britain, their use of contraceptives among the population is up in the mid 80%. So 85% of the people use contraceptives. And then you look at another country like Chad or South Sudan, it's down under 5%. And I'm not advocating that people should be living amongst filth and not have basic amenities just for the sake of creating big families. But I mean, I think we should at least put into perspective the meaning behind sex if you are of a God-fearing person. I can't speak for anyone else's viewpoint towards it because I'm not. But that's what the Thursday Thought is about, and going forward, just be aware that you have like sexual liberation. All it's really done, it hasn't really made anybody free, but it's just created more avenues for enslavement. People are now slaves to sex, they're slaves to material things, and they're slaves to extreme gratification. And I just think we should just think of that and don't be a slave. So that's my Thursday Thought. Sound off if you have something to say, and see you next time. God bless.